Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. Four parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. Four parents, 9 kids, I'm queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here.
Dave, hand me a beer.
Oh, hi.
Hi, guys, and
I just
welcome.
turned right over right there.
Heyo.
I just snap into character.
I know, I hear
This
that.
is the only
clap,
time you ever see this
literally.
me, is on
Yeah,
this podcast. I'm never like this anywhere else.
Oh, there's a that was fast.
That
Whoa.
was quick. I like it though. Let's go straight into it.
Let's not stop, since you made a comment about I'm the only one that gets to spin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let you
do
spin
it.
today.
You get to spin. And it better not take
Goddamn
forever.
time. What is this, like episode million?
Yeah.
28 to be
Unbelievable.
precise.
Welcome to
Episode 28.
I'm on pins and needles,
Yeah, you're gonna have to stop it.
which is going to start hurting
I should
if
have said that
doesn't.
before we started.
Time lapse.
Fast forward to 16 minutes in.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. I'm blind. I can't see. Who was it?
It was Tiff, I think.
It's settling on.
Tiff!
Move it.
Tiff.
Tiff.
Am I a joke or?
You're
No,
not a
we
joke.
don't
We
think
love you.
you're
We
a
think you're
joke.
great.
Not
I take you very
Tiff.
seriously.
Don't even say that.
Yeah, that was way too much. Way too quick. Way too soon in the episode, too.
Honestly, let's wait to get real deep. Let's lube ourselves up.
Okay, guys.
Ready.
It's green, my happy color.
Okay.
How many trees? Oh, I screwed it up already. I'm not even drinking. How many apples grow on a tree?
How many apples grow on a tree?
As many as the tree feels appropriate.
Yeah, that's the age of consent right there.
It's not that funny though.
Oh, it's supposed to be a joke?
Yeah.
This isn't a listener question. It says how many apples grow on. Well, first
I'm
it says
trying to-
in a tree. It should be on a tree, and it's all of them. They all grow.
Oh, that is good, yeah. Every apple you've ever had.
Damn it.
Are there
That's very
lab-grown
valid.
apples?
I was really trying to get creative with that one. I can usually guess a dad joke, but
Yeah,
Not
no.
that one.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to disappoint.
No.
Wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah.
No, that was great.
The last time
Honestly.
Tiff does a joke right at the beginning.
That was
Informational,
fantastic.
I'd say. It was great.
Informational.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
feel
know
like
that they
I
all
learned
grew
something
in a tree.
today.
Because
Yeah,
that's his in. Wrong
Yeah.
preposition. It
Yeah.
should be on.
yeah.
Preposition
You tell 'em
was
author.
always really obvious because it's like the position.
Mm.
I could always get that right on a
I always
test.
went with the prep part, and that's why I was always
Remember
getting it wrong.
that, I don't remember which movie it is, but it's the guy that was in My Cousin Vinny, the little guy.
Oh.
Who's also in Home Alone?
Danny no. Home
Joe.
Alone. Oh, Joe
Yeah,
Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like a homeless guy at Harvard. I think it was With Honors.
Yes.
Called With Honor or With
He
Honors.
lived in the boiler room.
At Brendan
off the boiler room.
Fraser.
Oh.
Anyway, so he goes in. He like is disrupting this big audience, like lecture at Harvard, and he's like, "Where's the bathroom at?" And the teacher says something along the lines of, "At Harvard, we do not end our sentences in prepositions." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Where's the bathroom at, asshole?"
I like that.
That is good. That's a good line.
That's a really good comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Go get it, Joe Pesci.
Yeah, that was good.
Great.
So that's your educational lesson for this podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah, last week we got very real.
Mm-hmm.
That was difficult for me. I feel like I was too real and it was hard. It was a very dysregulating week. So thank you all for forgiving my humanness and for loving me through that and helping me to forgive myself.
Yes.
It's been a long week. I'm ready for a new week.
Yeppers.
Love it. Big
I don't
fan
think
of
anybody did
humanness.
everything perfect in the whole situation. You know, we're all learning every single day.
I was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
don't
thought I
remember.
did
Do you
really
guys,
well too.
do you guys remember anything
You
I
guys
didn't do
are
right?
so awesome.
Did you guys remember anything that I didn't do right?
No, it was perfect.
Well, just let me know.
Anyway, so today is episode 28, which is really exciting. We're at
Yeah,
episode 30.
look at us. You
Reminds me of
very
rehab.
We're in our middle age almost.
28.
For sure.
Hands on.
So 28 days.
Wasn't that a dress thing? Oh, 28 dresses.
That movie's like a core memory. I went to it
Oh.
with Jake in high school at a German theater, and we didn't. I think we talked about this on
Yes.
the podcast. We didn't realize it was a show about a mom at rehab or a woman at rehab. Me and my sister just bawled our eyes out the whole thing. Jake's like,
I was like, what
I
did I do?
just
I thought we were
wanted
seeing
to
a
have
rom-com."
fun night. Like, yeah, I thought this was a rom-com. Yeah, sorry about that. Triggered.
Memories, triggers, whatever.
Same.
Yep.
But today we're going to talk about what is appropriate and what ages for your kids to have visual, not self-reflection, I'm going to keep forgetting this word.
Expressions
Expression.
of themselves.
So that could be piercings, tattoos, clothing, what might make them feel comfortable. Like, what are we, saying? Okay, yeah, we can trust and be you, but at certain ages we may need to scale it a little bit to wait. So.
Even with like hairstyle, or there are a lot of parents who are really strict about something so simple as hairstyle. I remember you telling me that your mom would not allow you to have long hair as a kid, or to wear pink shirts. That was not allowed, and things
Long
like that.
hair. I wanted to bleach it so badly. My whole, because everybody did, my whole teenage life. And she would never, ever let me. And so I did get her back by bleaching it right before our family pictures when I was like 20 years old. And it was god-awful. Like, it was so bad. They had to bleach it twice because my hair's dark, and it burned the shit out of my head. So my head was like red and peeling forever. It was terrible. But I should find those pictures somewhere
Please.
and insert it into this because they are so bad. I just look
I'm
so
surprised
dumb.
you got let in to
Oh,
the
yeah.
picture.
What's
Yeah,
more
just find
shameful?
the picture and Jonah can put it in the corner when he's editing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's gonna have a, nah.
my mom had to choose between leave my son out of this picture or have him in with blonde hair. What's going to be the most hard socially?
But I bet she was really happy because she wanted to be like, I told you so.
Oh
Do
yeah.
it.
See, it looks
I
ridiculous.
mean, I never told her it looked terrible. I was like, it looks great. I don't know what you're talking about. You should have let me do this the whole time. I found
Okay.
myself.
Well, I remember the first time one of our kids wanted their ears pierced. It was one of our older kids, and I think he was maybe 14 and wanted his ears pierced and called me from the tattoo studio with you. And I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I said no. And I feel like that person may be happy that they didn't pierce their ears at that time. I don't know. But then recently Jonah wanted his ears pierced, and he's 16, and all of us, I think, felt like totally okay about it, and felt like he was old enough to make that choice. We've always said we parent our kids individually, based on whatever. I don't know.
I think.
think-
Oh, you go.
I was just gonna say, I think for our first kid that wanted their ears pierced, I think when you said no, I think the answer was, if you still want it on your 16th birthday, then let's do it.
I do
Yeah,
remember
And so we
that.
kind of all got down with that, like, okay, if
Yeah.
he still wants to do it when he's 16, then let's go for it. And then just coincidentally, by the time he was 16, I don't think he was interested anymore. But by the time Thomas and Jonah were both 16, they both wanted their ears pierced, and I don't think they were really asking before they were 16.
Yeah.
It was just like coincidental, and luckily that they didn't ask prior to that, so we wouldn't have to say no.
Well, it was about
Oh.
like 8 months ago Jonah asked, and so I bought him some fake magnetic studs, and we put
Oh.
them on, and he's like, he wasn't really feeling it. So, but man, I love his ear piercing, and my best friend Iggy did it, which made it super fun, and they're lavender. It looks great. Good job, Jonah. So handsome.
I think there are like two parts to a lot of this, not just with the self-expressions physically and whatever, but just in parenting in general. And you mentioned one of them, which is that I think we've tried to always take an approach of parenting kids individually, and different personalities and different opportunities and strengths and things have led us that way. But also there's just a natural part of it that sucks sometimes, because we are parents too who are just learning as we go and trying to do it the right way. And I think it's very common for pretty much all parents with the society we're in and what we all experienced growing up with our parents, that a lot of that starts very fear-based. It starts with like, well, if that happens, what's that going to mean for, their friends at school? Are they going to get made fun of? Are they going to, our minds would work more when we were younger as parents, I think, in those terms. And as we get older and progress, we've tried to become very much less fear-based and more supportive and guiding, I guess, is a good way to put it. Still, like, not perfect ever and always making mistakes, but I think, that's the plight of, like, an older child. It just happens, It's like the experience you have when you're the oldest or the older ones versus the younger ones as things change. And that's something I think we talk about too, and we want to always be aware of that and acknowledge it and apologize when we felt like, sorry you had to deal with young us, like trying to figure shit out, and there's just so much there, and the best we can do is be open and honest and accountable to all of it, and I think we try to do that too. Anyway, just a thought I had with all this.
Yeah, and I think with, like, you brought up, like, kids with their friends, like, I wanted to make sure, like, our kid wants, any of them, they want to do it because they want it for themselves, not because their friends are doing, not because, like, oh, I want highlights in my hair because all my friends have highlights, or I want to wear glasses because all my friends wear glasses, or, I want a tattoo or my nose pierced, a lot of it I do feel could be peer pressure based, but it's important that they're like, well, why do you want to do it? Mm-hmm. Not just because your friend's doing it, like, tell me why.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing we can teach our children in self-expression, is to get to know yourself and to be true to yourself no matter what that choice is. And whether it's tattoos or piercing or hairstyle or clothing, I feel like our desire is for our children to just be the most authentic expression of themselves they can be and be the happiest and healthiest they can be. And I think we all enjoy expressing ourselves in different ways with tattoos or clothes or shoes or whatever. And so we just want to cultivate that in our children. And there is
no... You pointed at me when you said shoes.
I saw Tiff's TikTok about your closet.
My plank challenge. So that's funny.
Or shoes.
So, on Saturday, he was sleeping, and I do my plank challenge, like, in the middle of our bedroom floor, and I record it for TikTok. And I'm like, all right,
you're a badass.
We're going to be in the closet today. We're whispering because Jake's sleeping. Oh, let me show you.
Look at what a sneakerhead he is.
That's amazing.
And I got a lot of comments on it. People were like, holy shit, he has a problem. I'm like, I know.
Or
that's awesome.
Does he have a great hobby?
Yeah. And
thank you.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
Recently, my brother came to live with us, and he needed some shoes, and Jake is so generous. He's like, bro, just come in here. It was like, just take whatever you want. Like, he literally was like, any of these pairs, take two. Like, you're so sweet and generous with your shoes, too. It's not like you're possessive, so.
Well,
right.
thank you. I said, but
so
these
if you want
Etnies,
a pair of Jake's shoes.
I was like, but these Etnies are from high school from when I was 18, and I can't give these up.
So. Keep the
Or
Etnies.
leave these off to the side.
Oh my gosh, Etnies. What a memory.
I don't think I know what etnies are.
Skater shoes.
Oh, okay.
I used to wear them in high school.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think it's our goal to just have them express themselves as authentically as they want, and I don't think there's any age specifically. We let Anna get her nose pierced when she was like 13 or something, and we didn't have any issues feeling like she was going to regret that or anything, and we had a son get a tattoo at age 14 because it was a very special circumstance and very special tattoo. And so I just think that, again, the most important thing is just teaching our children to know themselves and trust themselves and to make decisions for the right reasons, and to also understand the permanence of something like a tattoo, to really help them understand this is not that permanent. You can get it removed, but it's painful, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that aspect of being a parent too, with, like you're talking about, like, use example again there, Anna with the nose ring at 13, don't feel like she's going to regret that. But there are situations we feel like with kids where, like, they're wanting something and it's all, like, I think a lot of the times all four of us are even on the same page of like, yeah, I think they might regret that, you know, or like, or seeing like maybe that the motivating factor behind a decision, like you were saying with, you know, like peer pressure, or it's like, if I don't, then I'm going to be made fun of, or something along those lines, trying to help them navigate it themselves and understand that without directly being like, you just want this because of this, so it's a no, you know, like, because I don't think that's helpful or progresses anything at all, but to try to offer advice and an opinion on like, well, or just ask questions, you know, like, why do you want it, you know, like, where does it come from, and what's the intention behind it.
What about for parents who have a daughter or son who is just dressing in a way they feel is totally inappropriate and maybe even makes them feel uncomfortable or something like that, with especially with teenagers?
I'll give my honest opinion on that. I think that for me personally,
I just switch families.
Oh,
yeah, for
that's
sure.
an option.
I bail out.
Yeah, get out of here. Not in this house.
Totally.
I think that for whatever reason, and it probably is my own upbringing and how tightly that was controlled, I'm extremely adverse to trying to control anything someone wants to wear. Like, even if I might feel like, whoa, that feels like inappropriate for your age, I don't even really feel that, because I'm like, it's not my body to choose. It's not my whatever. I still have the feelings of like safety and would have concerns around like, okay, what's the intention? Like, that's really what's more important. Like, if I feel it's unhealthy, what is driving you to make this decision? And that's what I want to talk about, not you have to cover up, you know? Like, for me personally, I don't like it. I don't like the idea of telling a child what they can and can't wear.
We in the Mormon religion were told we had to cover our shoulders and cover our knees and cover our midsections, and that from a young age, because you don't want boys thinking bad thoughts, and it felt like my responsibility to keep boys from thinking thoughts about my body, and it just from a very young age sexualizes and objectifies children to think of their body as this inappropriate thing that needs to be covered up because it causes bad thoughts and all of this. And it took me so much work to get rid of that and to feel comfortable and safe in my own body to express myself with clothing in whatever way is okay for me, that I don't ever want to place any of that on my children. I do not want to objectify them by bringing attention to something that they're wearing. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable in their own skin or feel like they are responsible for the thoughts of other people, you know. So I think I tend to run along those same lines. I can't think of any time we've ever told a daughter or a son like, that's inappropriate, go change. That doesn't happen in our house.
But I do know, like, with the girls, because I don't think any of the boys have been like, hey, Tip, how does this look? But, like, with the girls, they'll ask because they may feel slightly self-conscious about it. And I'm like, how does it make you feel?
Totally.
Because I don't believe my eyes looking at you is going to determine if it's okay. But how does that outfit make you feel?
I love
Do you feel
that.
confident in it? No? Okay, then maybe you should do something else. Because if you
Totally.
don't feel good walking in what you're wearing, then why would you want to put yourself in that situation?
I think that's such a good question to ask, is how do you feel
Mm-hmm.
in it? Yeah. If you feel good, get it.
I think too, like with what you're talking about, how like the sexualization of the control with clothing and things like that it sexualizes, it really does. But the messaging was, like you were saying so often, like, it's your responsibility as women to make sure these men don't have impure thoughts and aren't going to act on it, whatever it was, you know? And it's obviously offensive to women, like 1000%. But I always felt offended by that as a young man, like in that church. Like, do you label me as and think that my only desire is like to see what sex I can get in this life? Like, that's not how I operate as a human being. And also, like,
Bullshit.
Jake, you said you
I
wouldn't.
thought you were going to do that.
You said you wouldn't.
I'm sorry. I believe you. I believe you.
He is always out trying
apologize
to
for
get some.
interrupting.
Yeah,
Every
still.
time we go
I can't
out.
go to a Wendy's drive-thru without checking out the uniforms. You know, or did we get a little sluttier
wanna
this
get
week?
me
He
Nope.
has a fast
Frosty.
food fetish.
Still
We
the
all
button up.
know.
Why isn't Wendy growing up yet? God damn it!
When is Wendy legal?
Another one, by the way. Talking about teenage girls, like, when's your 18th birthday? Shit like that. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. It's like, to me, it's just offensive all around. It's like, do you think I don't control my own thoughts and actions? Like, that I'm incapable if someone walks by me with cleavage of, like, making a decision to not do something sexually? It's wild. Jake doesn't believe me, I know. But do you guys believe me? That's what matters.
I believe you, and like the more fucked up opposite is also true. It's like just because you're fully clothed doesn't mean that I can't come up with some sexual thoughts.
Yeah.
Totally. You didn't
That's
even
a-
get to my
That's a
imagination.
very valid point. If I'm feeling sexual about someone, it doesn't matter what you're wearing.
It
That's a fair
really
point.
doesn't matter.
All right, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that t-shirt is so tight.
Could be a little looser.
That parka is keeping you
That's right.
nice and warm.
Beanie almost covers the whole head.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that's very true. Ooh,
Yes,
can I spin
please.
the wheel?
Yes, you can.
I
please.
want to try.
What are we doing? A joke or a
Oh,
question?
man.
Let's do a question. No, maybe a joke again. I don't know. What do you think? Let's decide while we spin.
Question.
Question.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Question.
Let's let the person
it
decide.
is. Should I stop
Whatever
it?
it
Sure.
lands on.
What's it at?
AJ.
Right in between Tobaj Farish,
Let it settle.
AJ.
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 Oh, okay.
So would you like to joke or question?
I would like to tell a joke
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's been burning a hole in my pocket.
Okay.
Do you guys know why the Mexican took his anti-anxiety medication?
That's not fun.
I know why we just lost 25% of our viewers.
You think 25% of our viewers are Mexican?
Maybe.
I don't
Okay,
know.
start over.
Thank you for those of you that are.
I haven't checked the demographic, and I hope we don't lose them. I hope we reel more in.
Yeah. I feel like Mexicans might like this joke. I heard it.
But why did the Mexican take his anti-anxiety medication?
So he could be happy.
So you could be better at talking.
Tahini.
Oh, that's pretty good. I
That's
like that.
very
Pretty
good.
It was for his panic attacks.
That's
That's
pretty
good.
Thanks.
But
Thanks. Thanks. It wasn't racist. It was accurate.
Yeah. It was linguistically accurate,
Thanks.
right?
Good job.
Can we get canceled with no subscribers?
I hope not.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just.
We have
asking.
subscribers. we're
Oh, dang it.
just- yeah.
Good a one, babe.
Oh, thanks.
Good job. So, what else, guys?
Moral of the story is
What's your
I was
favorite
gonna
tattoo?
say that. That was the phrase that came
Oh.
to my mind. That was crazy.
my koi.
Ooh, I love
Tiff's
Tiff's
showing a
tattoo.
little leg.
Tiff and I are about to get a matching tattoo. We're
Yes.
trying to settle on an
Oh, I was gonna
exact
say, what's that
design.
gonna be? Jake, what are
Like
we getting?
What's
a
it gonna
woman
be?
who becomes a tree with like roots and
Yeah.
A Mormon that becomes a tree?
A
a
woman.
woman.
I was like, yeah, that's technically you.
Yeah,
like
Mormon
that.
that becomes.
yeah. Yeah, but my koi is my favorite.
Yeah, I love your koi.
I have a lot. I have 36.
Wow,
I
that's
I don't think I
amazing.
knew. If you would have had me guess, I probably would have said like 12. I had no idea you had 36.
One of my favorite of your tattoos is one that I recently found out about. I was so excited because Orion has always been like such a special thing for me, and then we're always looking for Orion. When my kids were little, we would always look for Orion. You proposed to Jake under Orion. In Sedona, I channeled Orion unexpectedly once, and that was totally a
Oh, I got
surprise.
Orion over here,
And then
too.
I found out she has Orion tattooed.
Yeah.
It's so neat.
That's pretty great.
Orion's belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I learned? That the constellation isn't just the belt, and that's not a joke. Like,
Yeah, that was recent.
I just, in the last 3 months, I was like, oh yeah, like, well, Orion's belt. She's like, well, that's the rest of Orion. I was like, hold up. There's a
There's
whole dude
more?
up there?
Yeah. If you look real close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just thought he had a belt and left it there and was coming back for it later. I don't
If you
know.
look real close, there's a penis under that
Oh,
belt
shit.
too.
Yes, there is. It's like
Orion's penis.
a blip in the
Do you
sky.
have a tattoo of Orion's penis?
Well,
She goes to pull up
Well-
the sleeve.
this is the whole Orion constellation in here. But there's the bow. Here's it right there's the penis.
Aww.
No shit.
Look
It
at
really
that.
is Orion's penis. Get a close up.
Get it in there.
That was not intended.
How dirty.
Oh.
What
Well, this
do
has
you
been a great
do?
episode, friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
thanks
cut
for
off.
tuning in, and we'll see
Wait,
you if we
wait,
don't
hold
get
on,
canceled.
hold on. One last thing. Pretty sure she spent more on her tattoos than I have on my shoes.
Whoa. Okay.
Now I'm ready to be done.
All right. Let's
Tattoo
go.
head.
Next, I want next week.
Is that a thing?
Next week, I want you guys to come with a breakdown of
Okay.
the cost
Yeah,
of
a
all of it so we
spreadsheet.
can compare.
You guys are amazing. Love you
You
all.
are amazing. Bye bye.
Mwah.
Please don't cancel us.
4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's no dysfunction here. 4 parents, 9 kids, 2 houses. Didn't really wanna talk about this. 4 parents, 9 kids, some queer. One thing's clear, there's no